She's a writer whose debut novel has become a sensation, filled with life lessons found under the title Lessons in Chemistry. Tracy Smith asked author Bonnie Garmus to share her formula for success.
So do you hang out in bookstores?
I do. I love bookstores. It's the best place to go any day of the week.
After a decades-long career as a copywriter, Bonnie Garmus has found a new gig.
Does it have a different feel now that you have a book in the bookstore?
Yeah, it's a much better feel.
Her debut novel, Lessons in Chemistry, arrived in bookstores in April of 2022, is in its 56th week on the New York Times bestsellers list, and has been translated into 40 languages.
Rebop, boom, bam.
This fall, it'll be an Apple TV series starring Oscar winner Brie Larson.
Welcome, viewers. My name is Elizabeth Zott, and this is Supper at 6.
And it's made Garmus, at age 66, something of a literary rock star.
I'm such a huge fan.
Oh, thank you.
I gave 20 copies of your book away at Christmas time.
Oh my God,
I
can
loved
I hug
it.
you?
Yes.
The adoration is still a bit of a novelty. When Garmus sent out her first finished book, it was rejected 98 times.
Did you want to give up?
Oh yeah, but you know, the thing with writing, I think is so important for people to realize is that the only one who says it's over is you. It's never over. Just because 98 people reject you doesn't mean that they were right.
Garmus set that first book aside, and after a frustrating meeting at work when a male colleague took credit for one of her ideas, she started writing a new novel.
I was supposed to be revising what I was working on, and instead I wrote the first chapter of Lessons in Chemistry. So I now call that constructive anger.
Constructive anger.
Yes.
Clearly it was good. It fueled your fire.
Yeah. I could hear her in my head. I knew she wanted to tell me that her decade was even worse.
Set in the 1950s and early 60s, Lessons is about Elizabeth Zott, a chemist and mom who hosts a cooking show that ends up teaching women about a lot more than food.
Some reviews have called the book subversive. Do you like that?
Yeah, I think Elizabeth Zott is entirely subversive, and when I was writing it, I wanted the tone of the book, the writing style, the voice to be subversive.
In what way?
I just thought it would be really interesting to have a character who took herself seriously and never thought about what she looked like, never, doubted herself. Basically, I was writing my role model.
Garmus didn't have to look far for inspiration. Her mom was a nurse who had to stop working when she got pregnant.
Lessons in Chemistry is in part for her.
Yeah, it's an honor of my mother. For sure. My mother would tell you, she would not like the swearing, but she would really approve of the message of women being more of who they really are.
Garmus herself is a wife and mother to 2 daughters. During the 5 years it took her to write the book, she kept her full-time copywriting job and taught herself chemistry, even trying some experiments from this book.
And the fire department was called. Yeah. One of my neighbors saw flames through the window and called the fire department. Yeah. Anyway, I learned the hard way. You should really take this really seriously.
But not everything she wrote about required research.
Why make Elizabeth a rower?
Well, I had to put something in the book I actually knew about.
Garmus started rowing in her late 30s here in Seattle. It's a sport that involves early mornings, grueling workouts, and brutal weather. So it makes sense that tough-as-nails Elizabeth Zott rows too.
Is this kind of a masochistic sport?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We used to say before every race, we'd join hands in the boat and we'd say, to the death. Because you do want to go all the way. You don't want to give up.
It's gonna feel pretty different now that we've got the wind behind us.
Seems in rowing and in writing, dogged determination pays off. When Garmus finished Lessons, she found herself in the middle of a bidding war. For a woman used to rejection, it was too much.
The whole time in the back of my head, I didn't believe it. And so I had this weird habit where I go to bed and then I get up in the middle of the night and go to my computer and look at email and see if I'd imagined the whole thing, because I have a pretty good imagination.
So you would check your computer to make sure it was real?
Yeah. And I think the third night I did this, my husband literally grabbed my arm and pulled me down and he said, "I'll save you a trip. It's real."
It's real, all right. In fact, readers tell Garmus the story of Elizabeth Zott inspired them to change their lives, take up rowing, go to law school.
Thank you for writing such a courageous book for us women, honestly.
And the story of Bonnie Garmus is a pretty powerful lesson, too.
Ever since you were 5 years old, you wanted to be
A novelist,
a
yeah.
novelist.
Yeah.
And now,
Yeah, I am. For me, it's just a dream come true.
and there's something about, I mean, if one of the messages of the book is you can change your story, you
Yeah.
can own your story.
Yeah.
That's kind of you
Yeah,
too.
it's me too. I think it's everyone though. That's why so many people see themselves in the book. So, yeah, you can change your story.